What's up, YouTube? It's Angel from Pivot with Angel, where we talk about project management, career progression, fitness, and what you can do to level up in this life. Today, we're diving into a topic that caught my attention recently, an app called Chime. Is it a helpful financial tool, or does it create a vicious cycle of debt? Stick around, let's break this down a little bit. So, first and foremost, if you don't know already, what is Chime, right? So, Chime is an online financial technology platform that markets itself as a modern banking alternative. It's mobile first and offers features like no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, and early access to your paycheck. Up to 2 days early to be more exact. Sounds amazing, right? Well, hold on, because there might be a little bit more to the story, so tune in a little bit. Now, the features that Chime markets, like free overdraft protection through their Spot Me feature, can be both a blessing and a curse. And that's where my concerns start to bubble up. Let's talk about why I believe apps like Chime can create a vicious cycle of debt. First, features like Spot Me, right? Which lets you overdraft up to $200 according to their website without fees. Can sound like a lifesaver, but think about it. If you're relying on overdraft protection every month, are you really managing your money, or are you doing yourself a disservice by digging yourself deeper in a hole, right? So, behavioral economics teaches us that when people are given an easy way out, Spot Me, they're more likely to lean on it instead of learning to budget better. And then there's the early paycheck feature. Get paid 2 days early might feel like a win, which is a normal standard for most banks. I'm like into that as well because, hey, we use USAA or Navy Federal and they have that feature specific towards their banks, right? But it's not actually more money when you start thinking about the timing and the shifting, right? Because that's just an additional 2 days to wait for a check to come in. Now, I'm not saying that, I don't think that that's important, but just follow me on this one. Because if anything, it encourages living paycheck to paycheck, leaving no room for long-term planning. Now, to be fair, Chime isn't all bad. And I'm making sure to point that out because I want to make sure you understand why I'm going about it from a double-edged sword kind of mentality and ensuring that we're covering all our bases. It's actually doing some great things for some people, right? Who are unbanked, underserved, traditional financial institutions are not looking at them, or at least they have specific criteria that some may not find able to meet, right? Specifically, let's say charging monthly maintenance fees or requiring a minimum balance just to keep the account open, right? This is where Chime kind of shines a little bit, no pun intended. But Chime eliminates that barrier. And for someone just starting out, that might be a huge plus, right? But that Spot Me feature, right? Which, depending on how you look at it, how you want to perceive it, can be a game changer for few. Just a few, right? Especially if you're hit with like unexpected expenses or like a car repair or hospital bill, emergency services and stuff like that. Rather than paying like an overdraft fee that could range anywhere from $35 to a little bit more depending on the institution or traditional bank that you use, Chime's cover that with no penalty, right? Now, like I say, I'm not an endorser of Chime, nor am I doing any endorsements with them, but I just wanted to make sure that it's understood that there is a double-edged sword specific toward the pros and cons of using Chime and what you should know before you even endeavor on this path, right? So, let's not forget, specifically towards that, especially staying within your limit, making sure you're not getting overcharged and stuff like that, that these same tools that allow you to round up purchases and automatic transfers, which is actually a functionality within Chime, is actually not bad, especially when it's going into a savings account, which you kind of have that automation already built into Chime, right? So let's go over the pros and cons specifically, right? Here's the breakdown of that. On the plus side, no fees, no overdraft fees, no maintenance fees, right? Early paychecks access, sure. 2 days faster than traditional bank. depending on which traditional bank you go on, credit union and stuff of that nature. For my military folks, we're already used to that, right? Accessible to those who may not qualify for traditional banking, like I explained earlier in this, right? And then the savings tools that's already automated and built into the process. But here's the downside to that. Limited services, no branches, no investment tools, right? Risk over reliance on these overdrafts and early paycheck access, because as I stated, there is a couple of things that may be pitfalls towards that. It doesn't teach financial literacy, nor does it help you to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, like I stated earlier, because if you're needing to use a feature like that, there's something wrong, or at least a issue that you're not addressing, because for all intents and purposes, Chime addresses the symptoms of those issues, right? The things that are very blaring and outlining, right? But it doesn't get to the root cause of that issue, which may be your own spending habits, or the fact that, you're taking on more than you can handle at this moment. It really all depends, right? So things to consider as you're moving forward. And then also the one other thing that I can say is always been one of my pet peeves, right? Lack of customer support, right? Especially when it's only available online. Sometimes it's good to just simply talk to somebody that's able to troubleshoot what you need to get or need to get done, make connections, shift a couple of accounts, or be able to be human on ground, where if it's only online, you're subject to possible time frames of when they are available or whether they're even capable of doing anything, right? Now, is that any different when a person online, on the phone, or where you're talking to them? Not necessarily. But I think that there is a better convergence, especially when you think about the connection that can be made, which the human element is very important for, right? So, while Chime simplifies banking, it doesn't necessarily solve the deeper financial issues. It's a tool, not a fix-all solution, right? Now, I'm going to give you about 2 use cases why this may be good, and then my opinion as to why it may not be good. But let's listen to these 2 use cases real quick, all right? So let me give you 2 examples. Meet Tanya. She's a recent college grad, earning $3,000 a month at her first full-time job. Tanya uses Chime to access her paycheck 2 days early, which helps her pay rent on time. She also uses the Roundup Savings feature to save $20 a month without even noticing. Over time, Tanya saves $500 and transitions to a traditional bank for broader financial services. Now meet James. James is a gig worker with inconsistent income. He frequently overdrafts his account with SpotMe and uses early paycheck access to cover bills. But he's never able to save because he's always a step behind. Over time, the cycle leaves him financially stressed with no emergency fund. So, am I wrong for feeling like Chime creates a cycle of debt? In my opinion, no, I don't think I am, right? But while it offers valuable features, it can also encourage overspending and dependency if you're not careful. Apps like Chime should be seen as a stepping stone and not a crutch. They're great for short-term solutions, but if you want to build a real financial independence, you need to focus on budgeting, saving, and educating yourself. Now, I am not that kind of channel, but there's many channels that have expanded on this topic in multiple ways. I could give you my take on certain things, and of course I'll be doing a couple of reaction responses to some of these videos and what is my thoughts about that. But in all honesty, most of them are pretty right on the money. And I'll leave a link on a few that I follow personally, especially when it comes to how you set yourself up financially for success, right? But going back to the conversation, if you're using Chime, right, or any app like that, ask yourself this question. Am I using this tool to improve my financial health? Or am I just making it easier to avoid dealing with the root problem, right? Like I stated earlier, that's the question that will guide you to the right choice. At the end of the day, though, Chime has pros and cons, it's a great option for someone starting out or needing to avoid excessive banking fees, but it's not a replacement for good money habits. Tools like these should work for you. They shouldn't trap you in a cycle of dependency. And as always, remember, you're either learning or earning, but the most optimal is both. Until next time, this is Angel from Pivot with Angel, signing off. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and turn on your notifications for weekly updates. Like, comment, and share. Check out my other videos on professional growth and project management to take your skills to the next level.